Hi everyone, my name is Nick from Coffee Before Arch, and in this video of C++ Crash Course, we're going to be going over a further extension of templates. So in this time, instead of having templated functions, we're going to have templated classes. So just like there may be situations where we want a class to be, or a function that can take on very different types, but we can find a way to represent it in some clean manner. Maybe it's only dependent on a single type, and we can just kind of copy and paste that type in there. So just like we did with some example with templates. So we had an integer version and a double version of a sum function, and we did that with a template, and that would also work with a character or a double. We can do the same thing with classes. So if we go ahead and open up, we'll start with the class itself. So we'll open up interface. So we'll go back to this point example that we had from an earlier class video. So maybe we want to represent a point that has coordinates x and y, but maybe we don't know if we want to say round to say a point that's made of integers, or maybe it's a point that's all doubles or floats, or maybe characters. Maybe we don't know what it is, so we want to, or maybe we have to represent all of these things, and we'd rather just generalize point. So just like we could generalize a function, we can say template, type name t, and then everywhere in here where we want to have that data type of t, we'll just, or that data type that we specify and say like our main function, it will just get pasted here, right? So if this is an integer, all of these t's will be replaced by integers. If say we wanted a double here, so this t will be a double, so it'll be double x, double y, and then if we do get x and get y, it'll return a double, and then our constructor, even our constructor will take this this template data type, right? So that's going to be our interface, and then our main function is going to be pretty simple. So if we go to templated_class.cpp, this time instead of just implicitly figuring out what the class should be built as, or call a constructor with, we have to explicitly set it. So in this case, we'll use the integer version of the template to create an instance of this point p1, and we'll just initialize it with 1 and 2, and then we'll go ahead and do another one that does a float this time instead of a double, and we'll pass in 2 floats, and then we'll do something pretty similar, or pretty simple. All we'll do is print out the coordinates of each. So this get x though will correspond to the integer data type, while this one will correspond to the float data type. So let's go ahead and compile. So we'll call g++-o on templated class, templated class.cpp, and our executable will be templated class. No compile errors. So we'll go ahead and run templated class and see what we get. So for the integer version of the class, we got 1 and 2 out, and then for the floating point version of the class, we got 0.54 and 1.92. So as we're seeing, templates can be extraordinarily useful if we don't want to have to say, have multiple definitions for a single class, just like if we didn't want to have multiple definitions of a single function. So it's a way of further generalizing things. So just like we generalized functions, we could generalize a class in the same way. And in later videos, we'll talk about how we can maybe be more precise with some of the specific implementations of a class that uses a template. Like, let's say if we wanted the character version of a template to be implemented in a very specific way that's different from all the others, we can do that as well, but we'll save that for another video. As always, we can go to github.com/coffeebeforearch, and we have all of our code from all the video series that I do, as well as links to the papers, the research papers that I present in the series This Week in Architecture. But for today, we looked at C++ Crash Course. We've got my contact information. If you have a specific video that you would like, let me know. And we have, of course, links to all our videos, the concepts covered in those videos, and then the files associated with those videos. So today we looked within templates, and we looked at templated class, and here is our interface and our main function. So feel free to download these, check them out, play around with them. Let me know if you have any questions. So as always, I'm Nick, and I hope you have a nice day.